There was always a whisper about a woman. In some ways, everyone kind of knew the dirty secret, but no one wanted to say anything about it.
When one of his staffers said, you know, there's another bimbo eruption, that wasn't a joke. They were erupting all the time.
There's an extremely erudite phrase they use down south. They call somebody a horn dog, and I knew he was a horn dog.
There's a Shakespearean dimension to the whole Clinton impeachment saga. It grows out of the Paula Jones incident in 1991.
I want my child to grow up in the America I did. I don't want her to be part of the first generation of Americans to do worse than their parents did. I don't want her to be a part of a country that's coming apart instead of coming together.
It was May of 1991. Bill Clinton had just flown back from Cleveland, where he had given this rousing speech to the Democratic Leadership Conference that essentially solidified him as the front runner for the Democratic nomination. And when Clinton flies back that night, he's pumped. And it's the very next day that he wants Paula Jones up in his hotel room. He sows the seeds right there at a moment of one of his great triumphs for what became his greatest disaster.
Paula Jones had been an Arkansas State employee who had an encounter with then Governor Clinton, the Excelsior Hotel in Little Rock.
I mean, sweet, honest, country girl, not particularly sophisticated.
Well, on the day of May 8th, Trooper Ferguson approached me and handed me a little slip of paper. And he told me that he used the word Bill, would like to meet with you up in this room number. And Mr. Ferguson said, it's okay, we do this all the time. I was very excited the governor wanted to see me. I was, who wouldn't be? And I thought, well, and when me and my friend had talked about it, we thought, well, we might could get a job.
I am going to talk to Paula right now and ask her to give you kind of a blow-by-blow account of what transpired in the room.
I'll just put it this way, that he presented himself to me in a very unprofessional manner, and I would call it sexual harassment.
It was only years later, when he was president, that she came forward and accused him of a Me Too moment, before there were Me Too moments.
Well, he tried to pull me over, and he put his hand up my leg, and he told me how he liked the way my curves were, and he liked the way my hair went down to the middle of my back.
He starts moving in on her, fondling her, telling him he knows her boss.
He walked over beside me, and before I knew it, he had dropped his pants.
And then, you know, his famous Cary Grant moment.
He exposed himself, and he asked me to kiss it.
She recounts how she resisted and said, I'm not that kind of girl, and nothing happened.
It was just humiliating for someone of that nature. So you're supposed to trust somebody like that. The last thing he said to me was, you're a smart girl, let's keep it between ourselves. And I left out the door.
No one took her seriously, and everyone thought it was a joke.
What she alleges is, in the Me Too era, a pretty common and outrageous form of sexual harassment.
Men of power felt that they could treat women the way that they wanted to. He didn't think he'd ever suffer anything.
If the president wants to serve this term out, he's going to have to begin by leveling with the American people.
I felt we needed to get away from it. We needed to settle with her, whatever the cost.
He could not do that. His pride would not let him do that. He fought it tooth and nail.
The president adamantly denies the vicious and mean-spirited allegations in this complaint. Quite simply, the incident did not occur.
I have been telling the truth, and in the end, I know I will get my good name and reputation back.
She comes forward, brings a lawsuit.
The complaint filed with the United States District Court here today in Little Rock charges Mr. Clinton with, among other things, sexual harassment and civil rights violations.
The President of the United States then interposed the most, to me, astonishing defense, which had no merit whatsoever, which is, I don't have to answer a lawsuit. I'm the President. Go away.
We will continue to fight to bring out the truth about Mr. Clinton and what he did to Mrs. Jones.
So Paula Jones takes her case to the Supreme Court. She wins it. Bill Clinton has to answer, and the lawyers get at discovery. They start calling witnesses.
That's when a lot of women came forward, a lot of names.
I had a conversation with one of Paula Jones' lawyers, and I said to him, look, I don't think you're ever going to be able to prevail unless you can show this was a part of a pattern of conduct.
And they're pursuing this case, and Linda Tripp comes to them and says, by the way, I have a young friend who's having an affair with the President of the United States. Linda Tripp was a civil service worker. She had worked in the White House.
Rather than really being a friend to Monica Lewinsky, she ends up making these secret tapes of their conversations. She ends up talking to people behind Monica Lewinsky's back and telling people about her biggest secret.
It scares me to think about how much I care about him and how comfortable I am with him and it just feels like it's, empty and awful without it.
In December of 1997, Paula Jones' attorneys named you as a potential witness in their civil suit against the president. Were you frightened?
This really was the beginning of the nightmare.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.